So I got a funny story for you guys about this shirt that I'm wearing right now. About a month or two back, I got this email in my inbox, which I originally thought was a scam for reasons that'll become obvious here in a little bit. But it said, congratulations, you qualify for this contest that Bethesda put together. And I checked out the company behind these guys. Let's see here, what's their name? Martin Kane, and their connection to Bethesda, and sure enough, it all checked out. And a couple weeks later, I get this package in the mail that had this shirt in it, along with a letter that also had a Fallout 4 patch inside of it as well. This reads, and I quote, congratulations on winning a prize in the Bethesda Softworks Fallout 4 Enter the Vault sweepstakes. Your prize is enclosed. Enjoy. Here's the thing about that. The contest, you enter it by pre-ordering the game. I did not actually pre-order Fallout 4. For those of you who have seen my previous rants, you know my stance on that process, that practice of pre-ordering. So, what actually happened is I planned to rent the game through GameFly. I had it in my queue on there for quite some time ahead of time because I wanted to make sure I got a copy of the game. Somewhere in their systems, they must have confused that for the fact that, okay, the guy with this email address has actually pre-ordered the game. And this bums me out so much. You'd think I'd be happy about this. Like, when I was a kid, my dad told me, oh, you're never gonna win a contest. Like, nobody ever wins those things. They're impossible. So it always was this secret goal in the back of my brain that one day I wanted to win something. I should be happy right now, except for the fact that this shirt technically doesn't belong to me because I didn't follow the rules. Man, always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Last week I told you that one of the reasons the internet is a wonderful place is because it's a hub of information. We can all share the experiences we have with one another so that we may help our fellow man avoid our mistakes. That said, I've been at this YouTube thing for only a little over a year now so far, and you'd be amazed with the amount I've learned during that time. It's crazy to look back on the bastion of knowledge I've built up since I quit my retail job, and I believe it's time to share some of that with you guys. If you ever had any aspirations of making gaming-related content on YouTube, or are just curious what working in the field is like, hopefully this video will serve as a good jumping point and give you the tools you need to get started. I'll be honest about this up front. What I do is not easy, it's not quick, and it's certainly not cheap. But it's the most fun I think I've ever had doing anything for a living. So here are my tips to rebalancing the scales in your favor if you decide to become a game reviewer. First and foremost, establish your identity and your concept. Imagine you're pitching the show you want to make to a major network. Try to summarize what makes your idea special in one sentence. Distill it down to the one simple gimmick that sets you apart. If you can't do that, go back to the drawing board. Watch some of the already established people you enjoy and try to pick their work apart. Really nail down why you like their content so much. What about it inspired you to do this in the first place, and how can you make something that inspires those same qualities in your viewers? Once you've got your pitch together, Google it. Hunt down people who are doing the same thing you want to do. Because of how expansive the web is, chances are you'll find at least one or two. But don't fret, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to start over, even if there's somebody way bigger than you who's doing the exact same thing. Analyze those guys, see what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong, and then ask yourself, can I do better? Because that's how you rise above your peers. If you really love this idea, despite the fact that it's already being done, endeavor to be the best in your field. Learn from the mistakes and the successes of those that tried it already, because that'll be how you rise to the top faster than anyone that came before. Once you've got a solid idea, the next thing you'll need are the tools necessary to do this job. Now, I want you to understand something right off the bat. Unless you have aspirations to make this a living, don't feel the need to break the bank over this. The reason I say that is because if the YouTube thing doesn't work out and you already sprung for the best equipment, what you've essentially got now is a load of expensive paperweights. On the flip side though, if you're willing to take that risk, there is something to be said for making a good first impression, and proving to every single person who comes to your channel right from the get-go that you mean business. business. Whether you start out small or save up so you can go big right away is ultimately up to what would personally be best for you. So let me help you break down how much all of this is going to cost so that you can make an informed decision on that front. No matter what, the most important tool in your belt for this job is going to be a good computer. This is one of those things I only realized in hindsight. You need a rig with both a sizable hard drive and lots of processing power. The hard drive serves many purposes, the first being that video files are not small. They will eat up your excess memory incredibly quickly. Now, I discovered that XSplit is a big alleviator of this. Local recordings with that program are fairly manageable in size while not skimping out on the quality. Plus, it also doubles as streaming software if you're into that. The space issue is also doubly problematic because the last thing you want to do is delete any footage you've recorded. Depending on what type of videos you want to make, chances are you might need that footage again sometime, so not having to record it again down the line will save you hours of unnecessary work, and money too if you don't own the game anymore. A good processor will also help you because it'll reduce the downtime in your schedule. Both recording gameplay footage and rendering your finished videos will be much smoother and much faster endeavors if your PC can lift its weight. But the absolute biggest reason you want a good computer is because, well, a lot of good games are on there. The PC gaming scene is a fairly sizable market with an intensely passionate fan base. The last thing you want to do is miss out on all that simply because you don't have a machine that can run the latest games. And that said, I'm not even going to attempt to tell you how to build the PC of your dreams. Go to PCPartPicker.com and they will guide you through that process with information that won't be outdated within a week. Next on the list, you'll need a microphone, a capture card, and both audio and video editing programs. For microphones, I personally use a Blue Yeti, and I wholeheartedly recommend it. The difference between this and my old $20 karaoke mic was like night and day. But again, a good mic like that is not cheap. Yetis run anywhere from $80 to $120 depending on where you get them. But no matter what your budget looks like, one thing you should always drop the extra cash on is a pop filter. A pop filter is that funny black thing that goes in front of a mic, and what it does is mute the feedback you usually get from p and k sounds. Yeah, you see how terrible that sounded? It makes you so much more listenable, to the point where I would never record anything else without one. And as for the program you'll record your VO with, Audacity. Hands down, it's free, it's powerful, and it's got all the tools you will ever need. Do not bother spending money on anything else. Oh, and quick pro tip, whenever you get done recording in Audacity, be sure to apply the normalize and then the compressor effects to the track. It'll get rid of all the natural highs and lows and make your voice sound a lot better. Capture cards are also where you have some good options. A lot of big YouTubers swear by Elgato, but I've been using a Hapog for months now and never regretted it. I say take a look at both and see what works for you. And as for editing, buddy, do not even embarrass yourself by using Windows Movie Maker. Sony Vegas is only $50 and it is worlds better. Better interface, better capabilities, and better results all around. There are more advanced programs out there, but it's the only one I can personally vouch for. Trust me, upgrade to the big boy software and teach yourself how to use it as soon as you possibly can. You'll thank me later. But Fnu, you may be saying. I've got bills to pay, mouths to feed, marathons to donate to. How can I possibly address all these concerns and still have enough money left over to afford all this crap, not to mention all the games I want to cover in the first place? Well, stick around, friend, because I'll be telling you about the many different ways I've managed to financially survive this long in the next episode. You want to know how I've been making ends meet in one of the most expensive hobbies out there? Stay tuned for part 2 of this series next week.
Been a while since we've done one of these multi-parters, hasn't it? Like, the thing is, I don't actually have a specific time limit that I put myself under or I have to follow. Like, the only thing governing how long these episodes have to be is how much work I can actually get done and still deliver these episodes in a timely manner to you guys. So, hopefully it's not too much of a deterrent. Hopefully it gives me more content to actually use in a little while, because this is something I've wanted to cover for quite some time. I've been planning on covering when I thought I had enough information to share, and who knows, as I get more experience, maybe I'll come back to this subject in the future with an update on different programs I've learned or different equipment that I've gotten. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys will tune into the rest of those episodes, and hopefully you guys are interested enough in this first one to justify the rest of the episodes to begin with. But until then, as always, I am Whatthefnu, and I will see you again next time. Later, everybody.